Good, man. Good, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look good, man.
Thank you.
That was a good camp?
Yeah, I was gonna get, yeah.
Everything's good.
Joseph Parker's pulled out some great performances against, you know, your likes of Zhang, Deontay Wilder, Martin Bakole. He's in red hot form. But then again, you know, you've got Fabio Wardley, you just can't deny him, you can't write him off because at any time, you know, he's
Even the unflappable Oleksandr Usyk couldn't hide his surprise after watching Joseph Parker's latest training footage ahead of his showdown with Fabio Wardley. The Ukrainian maestro, known for his calm analytical eye, looked genuinely stunned as Parker displayed blistering hand speed, pinpoint timing, and an icy composure.
What is it about him that makes him so special?
I'm fan of Terence.
You guys are getting closer.
That only champions possess. This wasn't a man simply preparing for another fight. This was a warrior sharpening his weapons for absolute domination. Usyk, himself a master technician and one of the sport's purest strategists, was quick to praise Parker's evolving ring IQ. The way Parker shifts angles, measures distance, and adapts seamlessly mid-combination impressed even him. Smart work, Usyk reportedly said, and when a genius of his caliber calls your boxing intelligent, it means you're operating on an elite frequency. Parker's movement spoke of discipline and calculation, not a fighter reacting, but a craftsman orchestrating. When Parker later addressed his mindset, that same focus and cold determination resonated. There were no distractions, no empty bravado, just purpose. His eyes, locked on Wardley, carried the look of a man chasing not just victory, but greatness. Parker knows this bout is his make-or-break moment, the one that defines his next chapter in the heavyweight saga, and if anyone needed a reminder...
Then listen, then I got all the mandatories, you know? But this is my Usyk now, Fabio Wardley. Like the target's on him, and nothing else matters. Because if I don't get this right, there's no point talking about any other fight.
Of how dangerous he's become, they only needed to look at Tyson Fury's expression while watching Parker train. Fury's face said everything, that chilling mix of pride and menace. When the Gypsy King feels sorry for your next opponent, it's not flattery, it's a warning. Their sessions have transcended fitness.
Just finished a brutal session in the gym with the boys. Bobby Howard, Big Joe Parker. I'll tell you one thing, people. I feel sorry for who we fight next.
It's no longer about endurance or technique, it's about destruction. Under Fury's watchful eye, Parker has transformed into something different, a cold, calculating machine designed to dismantle anyone standing in his way. The boxing world has taken notice, and the warnings toward Fabio Wardley are echoing louder than ever. Parker isn't the same fighter who once second-guessed himself in the ring. He's evolved. Former world champion.
Actually, he relies on his power far too much. He hasn't brought enough to his game right now, and I thought he would have kicked on from that. If he's going to have any chance against Joseph Parker, then he can't just rely on that big right hand. Joseph Parker's a seasoned, well-schooled athlete.
Who hits hard.
Yeah, who hits hard. He's on a resurgence in terms of his confidence and where he is in boxing now, Parker. So
Duke McKenzie didn't mince words. Wardley's biggest weapon might also be his greatest downfall. That reliance on raw power won't intimidate a veteran who's gone toe-to-toe with heavyweights like Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Joe Joyce. Parker's seen the fire. He's survived the storms. Now he's coming to end career.
You've been in with Fabio Wardley on a couple of occasions. What are his biggest qualities?
Well, you don't need me to tell you nothing more than he can punch very hard. You know, you only have to ask my face. He can really bang, and he's gritty. He's tough and he's gritty. You know, that's definitely his strengths. But then again, so is Joseph Park. You know, very tough, very durable, very good boxing brain. It's a cracking fight though. It just
not just win rounds. Fraser Clark, who's felt Wardley's strength firsthand, acknowledged the danger but admitted something few young heavyweights like to say aloud. Parker's toughness and intelligence belong in another league. Parker doesn't just fight, Clark observed. he commands. Every feint, every pivot, every perfectly timed counter carries purpose. Where Wardley thrives in chaos, Parker creates it, then controls it. Eddie Hearn echoed that sentiment. In his eyes, Parker isn't just back, he's rewriting the entire heavyweight story. Once dismissed as too quiet, too polite, Parker has silenced that narrative through sheer will and performance. He's taking fights others avoid, stepping in on short notice.
It's a great fight. I mean, firstly, Joe Parker is on an incredible run.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's beaten Wilder when no one really wanted to fight him. He's beaten Zhang when he was like the bogeyman, and he's just beaten Bakoli, although, you know, on short notice. I mean, that was a dangerous fight to take. So I love Joe. I think he deserves an opportunity. Joe against Dubois, Joe against Usyk, Joe against AJ. They're all great fights. I think.
And beating names that once intimidated the division. Wins over Wilder and Zhilei Zhang weren't accidents, they were statements. That's not luck, Hearn said. That's legacy being built. Under Andy Lee's guidance, Parker has become a smarter, meaner, and more complete fighter. The mental sharpness now matches his physical form. He no longer chases the spotlight. The spotlight chases him. And when major promoters start mentioning Parker in the same breath as Usyk, Anthony Joshua, and Daniel Dubois, you know he's back among the top-tier elite. The real threat in the heavyweight division, it seems, wears a calm Kiwi smile. Respected analyst Adam Smith added weight to that idea. He's witnessed many resurgences.
Parker has got wonderful skills, and under Andy Lee, he's really rejuvenated, and I think he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, period now, former world champion. Of course, I think he's better than he once was. So that's a problem for Wardley, but Wardley brings that power in. And remember, Joe Joyce knocked Joe Parker out. Others have had him in trouble, Dillian White down. So you can never write Wardley out of anything, man. He'll fancy it.
But Parker's feels different. It's not just physical transformation, it's mental warfare. The once soft-spoken champion now carries himself with quiet menace. He's more ruthless now, Smith said. Yet, Smith offered Wardley one lifeline, the puncher's chance. Wardley will enter that ring believing one perfect shot can change everything, but that mindset can be fatal. Parker, having endured wars with Joyce and Dillian White, knows how to weather storms and strike back harder. This fight won't be about youth or brute force. It's about brains, heart, and championship composure. And in all three areas, Parker has the edge. Still, Fabio Wardley isn't backing down. His words reveal youthful confidence, perhaps even arrogance, seeing Parker as an aging veteran who's been through too much.
Maybe not so much age, I would say, because he's not the oldest, but time within the sport, potentially. He's been around for a very long time. He's had a lot of fights. I think he's close. He's either at or is close to having 40-odd fights. Some of those have been rough wars. Some of those have been pretty good back and forth. Like, he doesn't shy away from a scrap, so he has got a few miles on the clock.
Many wars, but that's where he miscalculates. Experience isn't exhaustion, it's armor. Every tough fight Parker's survived has molded him into a calm, clinical assassin. Wardley may look at the scars and see weakness, but he's missing the steel beneath. Parker's sharper, stronger, and seasoned enough to sense blood from a mile away. If Wardley underestimates that wisdom, he'll step straight into a tactical trap. Parker doesn't fight for applause anymore. He fights to finish, and that's what separates contenders from conquerors. Simon Jordan and Adam Catterall summarized it perfectly. This isn't just another fight, it's about validation. Wardley's coming off a shaky win that exposed flaws.
What do we think of Parker versus Wardley?
Excellent fight in terms of Wardley. Now Wardley got out of jail in his last one.
Well,
he was getting systematically beaten.
Is it the right fight for Fabio?
Well, I think Joe Parker wins it. I think
does that make it the right fight for Fabio?
The guy that
it's the right opportunity. It's all about opportunity. You have so it is the right fight, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
for Fabio.
So. Absolutely. Look, they're both at the top of the tree.
And now he's walking straight into a veteran's chessboard. Catterall's pick was decisive. Parker's experience, composure, and form make him the safer bet. Wardley's rise has been explosive, but Parker's revival feels unstoppable. Jordan's excitement came with a warning. Wardley's entering a chess match against a grandmaster. One mistake and Parker will checkmate him, brutally. Duke McKenzie expanded on that idea, reminding fans that power alone won't save Wardley this time. Against Justice Honey, Wardley's flaws were visible. He struggled to close distance, became predictable, and leaned too heavily on his right hand. Against Parker, that will be suicide. The Kiwi isn't Honey. He's a strategist who studies patterns, breaks rhythm, and punishes mistakes mercilessly. Wardley's past wins against David Adelaide and...
If Fabio Wardley's just reliant on that one shot, it's not going to come because Hooney didn't know how to close that fight out. Hooney could have run like a thief in a night on that last round.
Clark were gritty but chaotic, fights he could brawl through. Parker won't allow that chaos. He'll dictate the tempo, dissect the weaknesses, and dominate the narrative. Once Wardley loads up, Parker's counters will land with surgical precision. Experience, intelligence, and composure often dismantle raw aggression, and Parker embodies all three. Liam Gough summed up the fight's electricity. Both men know they're walking into danger with eyes open. For Wardley, this is more than survival. It's the climb toward credibility. Facing Parker isn't just a test, it's a career-defining gamble. For Parker, it's about pride and legacy. He's fought under brighter lights and against harder hitters. Wardley's unpredictability gives him a wild card, but Parker's composure, forged in championship pressure, makes him deadly when
risk for both guys to take this fight. A big risk for Fabio Wardley because it's a massive jump up in comparison to Justice Hooney, and it's the unpredictability and the unknown of Fabio Wardley for Joseph Parker. You know, so I respect the both guys for taking this fight. Frank Warren hit the nail on the head, very much so.
Things get ugly. Wardley's gamble is courage. Parker's is pride. Both have something massive to lose, but only one has proven he can master chaos. Spencer Oliver, another respected voice, highlighted that very unpredictability. Wardley's grit is undeniable. His fight against Honey showed he doesn't fold when hurt, but resilience alone won't be enough. Parker's fought tougher men, lasted longer wars, and always found a way to rise. Oliver said Parker will need to engage, and he's right. Parker won't dance around. He'll meet Wardley head-on, test his composure, and break him down piece by piece. Wardley's heart may drag him into deep waters, but Parker's experience knows how to drown men there. Emotion versus instinct, passion versus precision. That's the story of this fight.
I don't think anyone would accuse Usyk of ducking anything, right? So
do you dance like that when you're injured?
He dances like that on the paddle court. I danced around in absolute misery when I was playing on a paddle court. Talking about Joseph Parker, the Ringer magazine have just announced that August 25th at the O2, Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley.
Yeah, called it. There you go.
What do you think to that?
Yeah, I think that's been announced.
Johnny Nelson's technical insight painted the final picture. He calls Parker a beast that must be controlled, and he's not exaggerating. Parker's combinations under Andy Lee are now lightning fast and unpredictable. He's no longer throwing just to land. He's setting traps. Those rehearsed sequences Nelson mentioned could spell disaster for Wardley if he hesitates for even a second. Once Parker locks into rhythm, he dismantles opponents methodically. Nelson's warning is clear: control Parker early or get consumed in the storm. What fans will witness, he says, isn't chaos. It's a masterclass disguised as war. Adam Smith closed the discussion by connecting Parker's momentum to the bigger heavyweight picture. With Usyk potentially sidelined until 2026, Parker's timing couldn't be better. He needs a fight that...
Combinations, he's got at least 6-7 set combinations. He can fight. So he needs to control this beast. If he
keeps him sharp, relevant, and visible. Fabio Wardley is that perfect dance partner. Dangerous, undefeated, and brimming with ambition. But Smith's reminder of Wardley's luck against Hooney cuts deep. Surviving a beating to land one miracle punch isn't a plan. It's desperation, masquerading as destiny. Parker won't give him that window. He'll maintain distance, pressure smartly, and pick Wardley apart in layers. Behind Wardley's unbeaten record lie cracks. Cracks that a veteran like Parker is eager to exploit. This fight, make no mistake, is about more than rankings. It's about legacy, reputation, and momentum. For Parker, one dominant win here propels him back into the world title conversation, lining him up for potential bouts with the likes of Usyk or Joshua. For Wardley, it's do or die, a chance to prove he belongs at the top or be exposed.
He needs a big fight, and if Oleksandr Usyk is going to wait and maybe not fight until 2026, Parker needs to be back in the ring. I think it's a really interesting fight against Fabio Wardley.
Yeah, me too.
Wardley, of course, who's undefeated still, but lucky maybe, some would say, after being outboxed round after round against Justice Hooney at his beloved Portman Road. But the last thing a puncher loses is that right hand, and that's all he needed, all she wrote that night.
Is that lucky?
Under the brightest lights. When the bell rings, experience will clash with ambition. Parker's resurgence represents wisdom, control, and the patience of a craftsman who's rebuilt himself from the ground up. Wardley represents hunger, risk, and the chaos of youth, desperate to be noticed. One fights for legacy, the other for legitimacy. Every jab, every counter, every angle will tell a story of two different paths converging at one dangerous intersection. So the question now echoes across the boxing world. Are you backing the seasoned master Joseph Parker, the man reborn under Andy Lee's brilliance? Or are you betting on Fabio Wardley's wild rise, the fearless puncher daring to shake the throne? Either way, one truth stands firm: when the lights dim and the first punch lands, only one man will emerge from that ring validated, and the other will be left questioning whether he ever truly belonged there.